Rue just saw a burning bush in the desert after nearly dying. Cassie deleted her entire account and might have just destroyed her career. And Alamo's backstory revealed why he can never trust anyone, especially the women in his life. Episode 6 of Euphoria Season 3 just set up what could be the darkest finale this show has ever seen. Let me explain everything. Welcome back, everyone. We're now 2 episodes away from the Euphoria Season 3 finale, and things are about to get catastrophic for almost every character. This might be the strongest episode of the season. We got Alamo's tragic backstory, Rue's spiritual awakening that feels like it's setting up her death, and Cassie making a decision that could cost her everything she's worked for. The ending of this episode marked a turning point. Multiple characters are now on collision courses with disaster, and I don't think everyone is making it out of this season alive. Today, I'm breaking down every major storyline, explaining that biblical ending with Rue, and sharing my theories about how this is all going to end. Spoilers ahead. Let's dive in. Let's start with Cassie, because she just made a decision that's going to have massive consequences. Cassie's opportunities are multiplying without her even trying anymore. She's selling photos successfully, working with Kitty and Magic at Alamo's club under Maddie's management, and now she just landed a recurring role on network television. Here's how it happened. She was only supposed to appear in one scene as job applicant, a throwaway character. But when she got on set, the dialogue reminded her of Nate's betrayal. All that pain, all that anger about being lied to came flooding back.
Instead of reading the lines as written, Cassie broke down. She spoke from her heart about how she felt, about being alone, about paying the price for betraying her best friend Maddie all those years ago just to be with Nate, about how it was never meant to be. The writers saw something in that moment. They saw depth they didn't expect. And when they learned about Cassie's background, selling photos online, trying to escape a life she no longer wanted, they saw a perfect story arc, a character trying to better themselves. So they offered her a recurring role, the dream Cassie has always wanted, being seen by millions on TV. But here's the catch. The network told her she had to delete her account. All those photos she's been selling? Gone. Cassie actually struggled with this decision because of the recent success and money it brought her. But eventually, she did it. She pressed delete. And she didn't feel the weight she expected. Why? Because that weight is coming for her in a completely different way. Remember last episode when Cassie signed a contract with Maddie? That contract essentially gave Maddie control over Cassie's work. So simply deleting the account without Maddie's permission? Not actually an option. This is going to create 2 major problems. First, it's going to drive a wedge between Cassie and Maddie. Cassie thinks they're best friends. Maddie does not feel the same way. When Maddie finds out about this, she's going to show Cassie exactly how binding that contract is. Then there's the box that arrived at Cassie's apartment. Inside, Nate's finger. This delivery accomplished multiple things. It showed the joint responsibility. They're married, so when they're done with Nate, they're coming for Cassie next. But more importantly, it revealed how much Cassie still loves Nate. Despite everything he did, despite the betrayal, she still cares. This could be the thing that drives her back to him. I think Cassie might actually lose everything. Her career, her money, her opportunities, when Maddie hits her with legal action over that contract. And when that happens, she and Nate might end up in exactly the same position. Broke, desperate, and only having each other. Now, let's talk about Rue, because this episode set up what feels like a tragedy waiting to happen. On the surface, Rue's life seems to be improving. She's turning to God, she's getting praise from the DEA. She had a pleasant conversation with her mother where they actually told each other, "I love you." But all of these feel like the calm before the storm. When a show gives a character this many positive moments in one episode, something terrible is usually coming. Rue is not trusted by Alamo, not even a little bit. And now she's being tasked with breaking into Lori's safe to steal back everything that was taken from Alamo's club. This is an impossible situation. Rue is playing both sides, working with the DEA while pretending to be loyal to Alamo. And Alamo is starting to see through it. Here's the really dangerous part. Bishop told Rue he paid her mother a visit because he doesn't trust her. Think about what this means. They now have leverage over Rue through her mother. If Rue steps out of line, if they confirm she's the rat they suspect she is, they can hurt the person she cares about most. Rue is essentially doing to Alamo exactly what his mother did to Preston, using someone's trust to betray them for personal gain. And Alamo can see it. That's why there was so much talk about rats, mice, and snakes this episode. The story of Alamo buying a snake so he'd always remember never to trust people, especially people you care for, perfectly sums up his relationship with Rue. She's the snake sizing him up as a meal because she doesn't want to go to jail. And then we get to that ending, the biblical moment that changes everything for Rue. Rue was listening to an audio version of the Bible in her car when she was almost hit by a truck. She stopped just in time, and when she looked out into the desert, she saw a burning bush. This is a direct reference to Exodus 3 in the Bible. The burning bush is where God first spoke to Moses. It's considered one of the most important miracles in Scripture. And this happened right after the audio Bible started glitching in Rue's car. Her life was saved. She witnessed what she believes is a miracle, and she fell to her knees. Rue is interpreting this as God speaking directly to her. She's been searching for salvation, searching for forgiveness for her sins, searching for a way out of the darkness that's consumed her life. But here's the tragic irony. Rue has been searching for God, but she stumbled across the devil, Alamo. And the devil doesn't leave without causing harm. The devil always takes a price. Speaking of Alamo, let's talk about his plan with Lori. Lori wants to partner with Alamo because he owns ambulances as part of his business empire. They can use them to smuggle things across the border without suspicion. With the border shutting down, Lori sees this as one final big score. Enough money to retire and never work again. Alamo agreed to work with her, but not because he actually wants to partner up. He's following the old rule: keep your friends close and your enemies closer. He's planning to double-cross Lori. She already tried to rob him once, and the lesson he learned from his mother, never trust a woman, sits with him to this day. That meeting between them was incredible. Both sides eyeballing each other, the tension so thick you could cut it with a knife. When this alliance inevitably explodes, it's going to be spectacular. That opening scene showing young Alamo and his mother was one of the best sequences of the season. We saw how Alamo learned his morals, or lack thereof, from watching his mother con people. She was a professional deceiver who used people for everything they had. And it cost Alamo someone he cared about deeply: Preston, a good man who trusted the wrong person. This is why Alamo has such deep mistrust of people, especially women. He was raised by someone who taught him that everyone is just out for themselves, that trust is weakness, that the only way to survive is to never let anyone get close. The snake metaphor throughout this episode was perfect. The snake literally represents his mother: beautiful, dangerous, always ready to strike the moment you let your guard down. Back to Rue's situation, because I think we need to talk about how this is going to end. Rue is currently betraying 3 people: Alamo, Bishop, and Fez, all because she's in pure survival mode. It's either work with the DEA or face a minimum 20-year prison sentence. She's hoping that turning to God will provide the salvation and forgiveness she needs to navigate out of this life. But the reality is much darker. Something terrible is going to happen to Rue this season. Whether it's her life or someone she loves, probably her mother, the price is coming due. My prediction: Bishop's visit to Rue's mother wasn't just a warning, it was set up. When Alamo confirms Rue is the rat, and he will, they're going to use her mother as leverage or punishment. Rue telling her mother, "I love you," this episode, that felt like foreshadowing, like the last time she might get to say it. Let's be honest, Nate's storyline this season has been disappointing. Every episode is the same. Nate appears for a few seconds, gets spotted by the henchmen, tries to escape, gets caught, loses another body part. We've seen him lose toes, now a finger. It's repetitive and not particularly compelling, especially for a character who used to be so central to the show. The only moment of depth we got was Nate destroying a flower, symbolically ruining the thing that's been the root cause of all his problems. But that's not enough to justify how little we're seeing of him. I'm hoping this changes in the final 2 episodes, but right now, it feels like wasted potential.
Jules is the other character whose storyline feels underdeveloped, though I can see what they're trying to do. The theme is passion versus money. Jules gave up art school, her dream, her passion, to live in Ellis's apartment as essentially a kept woman. She gets everything paid for. Beautiful apartment, no financial worries, but she's bored. Her passion isn't being fulfilled. She has no real connections, and she's not allowed to love who she wants. The money has become her prison. She's trapped in a golden cage. When Rue talked to her about living for something greater than yourself, Jules realized she's doing the exact opposite. She's chosen fantasy over reality, comfort over passion, security over love. And when Rue said she wanted to start a life with her, Jules couldn't even entertain the idea. She's made her bed with Ellis, and now she has to lie in it. Jules hitting Rue was uncalled for. Rue was speaking the truth, and Jules lashed out because she knows it. This storyline would be so much more powerful if we actually saw more of it, but the limited screen time makes it feel incomplete. Let's talk about Maddie, because even though she didn't have much screen time this episode, her presence looms over everything. Maddie and Alamo are similar in more ways than people realize. They both operate in adjacent industries built on controlling and profiting from other people. Maddie's hunger for success and her ability to make money off others is what caught Alamo's attention. He saw himself in her. When Maddie met with Alamo, I initially feared for her, which means Cassie is going to get jealous. Maddie won't be there for her like before, and that's going to push Cassie closer to Brandon, closer to Nate, and potentially into dangerous situations. Here's what I think is about to happen in the final 2 episodes. Cassie's contract with Maddie is going to blow up in her face. She'll lose either her TV opportunity or face financial ruin, possibly both. This will drive her back to Nate, and they'll face destruction together. Rue's betrayal will be discovered. Whether it's through the Lori safe job or Bishop's investigation, Alamo will confirm she's the rat. The price will be devastating, most likely her mother's life. The alliance between Alamo and Lori will explode into open warfare. Rue will be caught in the middle. Jules will continue to waste away in her golden cage until she finally breaks free. But it might be too late. And through it all, the theme of reinvention coming with a terrible cost will play out across every character. This was genuinely a great episode. As the season has progressed, it's found its identity, and I'm really enjoying the direction. That opening scene with young Alamo learning from his mother was structured like a fable or short story. Dark, tragic, and perfectly explaining why he is the way he is. The snake metaphor later was a beautiful callback. Rue and Cassie have the strongest storylines this season. They have the most substance, the highest stakes, the most consequences. The visuals continue to be gorgeous. Those desert scenes, the cinematography at Almo's club, that final shot of Rue in front of the flames, this show looks incredible because it's actually shot on film. The Lori and Alamo meeting was my favorite scene. The tension, the eyeballing, the mutual distrust barely contained. When that explodes,
It's gonna be worth the wait. With only 2 episodes left, I'm fascinated to see how this concludes. Is this the series finale? Or is this a soft relaunch for the show to return every couple of years? Either way, the theme of trying to better yourself but paying a terrible price is being explored masterfully. Lexi is another character I'd like more time with. She's finally getting to write for her sister, but Cassie's contract issues will probably destroy that opportunity too. Once again, Lexi will suffer because of other people's actions. The pieces are all in place for a devastating finale. Characters are making choices that seem good in the moment, but will have catastrophic consequences. Euphoria Season 3, Episode 6 set up the endgame, and it looks dark. Rue found God, but made a deal with the devil. Cassie got her dream, but might lose everything. Almost Past revealed why he trusts no one. And we're 2 episodes away from what could be the most tragic ending this show has delivered. What do you think is going to happen? Will Rue survive the season? Is Cassie going to lose her TV role because of Maddie's contract? What do you think that burning bush moment means for Rue's future? Drop all your theories and predictions in the comments. I love hearing what you all think. If you're enjoying this Euphoria coverage, smash that subscribe button, because I'll be breaking down the final 2 episodes as they release. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.